Well, we've been trying to sort some issues out with Roger sharing. So just a smidge late. Apologies for keeping you waiting. Who have we got? Who have we got? Stitch. Good evening, my dear. How are you? Hope you're well. Say hello to little Stitch for me. It may just be me and Roger today. Jen will be in the chat at some point, but she's pulled a muscle, so he's on painkillers. So she's a little bit woozy. Apparently, they've given her some good stuff. Don't know about Holly. She's been suffering. I was trying to meet up with her on Monday, and it didn't happen because she wasn't Jenny's been waiting for 10 minutes for the stream to start. No chat bar. We've got a chat bar, haven't we? And the stream wasn't... Sorry, Jen, the stream wasn't going to start at 10 to 7. Starts at 7. Okay, yeah. Well, Jen will be with us when she's figured out what time it is, and we're I can see it's working for you, darling. Thank you. Yeah, 1 minute past 7, and Jen's moaning that she's been waiting for 10 minutes. Oh, bless. Those tablets definitely are making her woozy, aren't they? So yes, I was going to try and catch up with Holly again on Monday because I treated myself to something, but I had to drive over her way to pick it up. But she wasn't too brilliant, so Kevin's been pissing her off. You've been waiting for... No, she said she's waiting for the chat bar to... Don't know. The chat bar is there for Stitch. There's only Stitch in the chat at the moment, Jen. So I would say drop out and come back again. And that might have been you doing that because it's gone from 10 watching to 9 watching. I don't care if you state the obvious, Stitch. I'm stating the obvious. No, no, Roger. No. You talk. That's the problem. Jen can't see the chat bar. She's been waiting for the chat bar to come up, and it hasn't come up. But it's not one of those things that is there and then it isn't type of thing. So yeah, it might just be me, and of course himself later. So 11 watching and only Stitch in the chat. I hope everybody else has got the chat. But it is subscribe. No, I don't know. I could turn subscriber only mode off, but once that Stitch, you get that occasionally where the chat doesn't come up on Popsy's live. Don't know. How can... Yes, That's how come I can see Jen's. She's messaged me on my phone. Well, on Facebook. Well, we've had some fun with animals this week, haven't we? While we're waiting for other people to come and join us. Good evening, Lizzie. There we go, Missy. You haven't had problems with the chat bar, have you? Jen seems to be having issues. She can't see the chat bar. I'll wait for you to hear what I've said and come back to me. Yeah, issues with animals. What have we had? This country. Well, this country. Isle of Wight, so sort of this country. They had, where are they? Raccoons. So Isle of Wight, 4 raccoons escaped. We found 2 quite quickly. Oh, look, aren't they sweet? Found 2 quite quickly, and then it took them a while to catch the other 2. But they have been recovered now. So the raccoons are all back safe and sound. What else have we had in this country? No, I think that everything else I've pulled out. This young fella, bless him. Some horrible people decided that him and his mate what was it? I want to say that was another raccoon. Yes, it was another raccoon. So this little fella, Peanut, and his raccoon pal Fred, a number of complaints were made, and bless him, they were put down. They were nabbed by the Department of Environmental Conservation, and they seized Peanut and Fred. This was in New York, and before he had a chance to do anything about it, they were euthanized, all because they got Peanut had 350,000 followers. Bless him. Sweet little thing. Pom. There he is with his dad, who was found. His dad saw his mum run over and rescued him as a tiny baby and raised him for 6 years, I believe. But yeah, there was a risk of rabies. Never been out, never been anywhere, but no, he might have caught rabies. Still with animals. South Carolina. They've had 40, not 4, 40 monkeys escape. So good luck finding them. And I think we can all remember Miss Reagan and her Olympic breakdancing. Well, she has announced that she's retiring. she's quitting competitive break dancing. So we won't be able to have a laugh at that again in the future. So there we go. A couple of silly stories to brighten our day. Good evening, Holly. I did wonder how you were, my darling. You don't have to string a sentence together with me. You know that. But yes, Stitch, why unalive those poor animals? Missy, our raccoons escaped from a zoo, and yeah, Fred obviously was a native because that was in America, that was New York. So, do you know what? Do you want to come up and keep me company, babe?
I've been waving at you for the last 5 minutes.
Sorry.
No, the Peanut and Fred, you're correct in what you said there. The main report and complaint was from a woman that was that jealous that they had more followers of her than her on Instagram. And they actually used the rabies as an excuse to euthanize them. And the guy who they took them off, he didn't even know it had happened. He saw it in the press that they'd put them down. They didn't even have the balls to tell him it, that they were doing it.
Yeah, it's all right. The article I found said it was anonymous.
No, they know who the woman is that made the original complaint. They just won't give out her details. But the public are going after the animal control, and she did look like an evil bitch in her picture. They're persecuting her and going after her because she was the one that authorised it. Jen's in the chat now. Good evening, Jen.
Hey, you made it. I've never known that, Jen, where the chat isn't up. So I couldn't advise how to fix it.
But yeah, the raccoons, they caught 2 originally.
And then another one, and then the last one.
Yeah. They said they weren't dangerous, but they would bite if the public tried to pick one up. Yeah, they're one of these animals that looks cute until you get your hand near them. Bit like me. I look cute until you get too close.
I've got quite a lot of lag on tonight.
Yeah, you have between here and YouTube, between StreamYard and YouTube. Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, you were just doing that.
Scar.
I don't know if you do want a raccoon, Holly. But yeah, I know what you mean. They look cute. Evening, Scar.
They make good Davy Crockett hats. Mind you, the cat used to look like a good one when I used to sit her on my head, but oh dear, fucking throat again.
Well, Roger's finally got his medication for his breathing. He's got his ventilators.
Why couldn't I get one of them when I was smoking the lettuce? It would have been brilliant, wouldn't it? Yeah, I got that one. That's the one with all the steroids and the meds in. And that's the normal one that I got to use in emergencies. But that one did actually enable me to go out and have a quick wander around the shops, although I didn't wander far. That did help me breathe a little bit easier while I was out. I certainly wouldn't be carrying that bloody great thing around with me, that's for sure.
Yes, I took him out shopping, sent him on his way while I did my shopping.
Yeah, I know, Holly. But I am using it less and less now. I'm slowly getting there.
I use it far more than him. But
You should have seen what I used to have hanging on my jacket when I was a biker, Gordo. We were down in Wales one weekend, and I went out round the field shooting. And by the time the lads had come back, I'd had 2 rabbits that I'd skinned, scraped the skins, and had them pinned to my jacket, some bits of squirrel. It looked like a bloody mountain man. All this fur hanging off my jacket.
it was a big thing, sort of 80s, wasn't it? For bikers to have foxtails and...
No, the foxtails was the mods. They used to hang them on the aerials on the scooters with foxtails. The bikers, it was rabbits.
No, I don't remember seeing any rabbits' tails hanging off.
You're saying they look like...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bikers didn't have rabbits' tail hanging from their bikes.
Yeah, but it got to like a couple of weeks, and they wouldn't let me in the pub because they stank because I hadn't cured the skins. I just scraped them. And they were stinking.
Well, yes, they would. They would smell foul.
Yeah, I didn't want to use them, Jen, but it's a fact that the way the COPD has hit me. Obviously, I've had it for a while, according to the nurse, because I have struggled with my breathing for a good couple of years now. But it's only lately that it got real bad. So I got referred to the hospital, who referred me to the nurse that deals with it all. And they've wrote me a nice letter out now, confirming everything I've got, what treatments I can expect, ongoing appointments. So yeah, I'm actually moving on now. I actually put in my PIP claim today on the fact that, yeah, I have got a lot more information. And the other one, which quite surprised me, didn't surprise Heather as much, with the polycythemia, the blood disorder, that's been absolutely confirmed after the big test that I had in the hospital in the city. But on my paperwork, it was suspected back in 2014, but they didn't do anything about it. So that could have possibly have been the reason I needed me bypass.
But that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
You were told it wasn't a problem with smoking or whatever that had caused the need for the bypass and the lack of and the blockage in your veins, but it was a medical issue. You've got something else wrong with you, but they never told you what it was.
Yeah, well, Claridge, the vascular surgeon, all he
Clary.
said was it's a disease in my arteries.
Yeah.
And that was all he said. It didn't give me any details or what it could possibly was. There was no follow up to it.
No,
It was
and,
just
and
like, well,
I
we'll
think
fit a
that's
rubber
quite,
tube inside you and let you get on with life, you know.
but I think that's bad because that's like saying you've got an issue with your breathing. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But they've done that with your feet.
Yeah. Well, when I had that appointment on the 22nd with the stroke clinic, stroke nurse, I'm going to actually bring that up and say, look, you know, I'm still having this problem. Nobody's doing anything about it. Can you get the GP to, you know, investigate this or get someone to investigate it further, because it's not going away. You can request your medical information, Jen, but the trouble with the lot that I've got here is they're very reluctant to pass it on. The consultants will write to my GP. We've had this many times before, but the GP won't act on any of it. You know, they won't get in touch with me. They won't see me. But now everything's, I won't say getting that bad, but things are getting worse. So I'm really pushing them now. I want something sorted. At least I want to know what the hell's going on, you know.
And you're right, Holly. They just fob you off. There's something wrong, but we're not going to give it a name. Or it can't be that bad. Here's some painkillers. And then eventually something happens and you do find out that it's something quite serious.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin isn't just isn't that you need to take a couple of painkillers and get on with it. So no, that I think that should have been noticed a little sooner, to be honest. But at least they've got there now.
Well, look at when I had the blood clot back in 2010. How many weeks was I going backwards and forwards to the surgery saying I've got real bad headaches, and all they kept doing was giving me painkillers? And it weren't until I threw up in front of one of the doctors and I was in a great deal of pain that she said, oh, yeah, I know exactly what's wrong with you. We'll get an ambulance here and you'll be in the hospital this morning. And that was when they found the blood clot. Yeah.
Mind
You
you,
get it all for free then, Scar.
mind you, the practice does seem to be doing something, because you've had an appointment for a follow-up on the stroke, haven't you?
Yeah,
And
well, that's
I've
only
had,
because Dr. Lee pushed for it. She was the one that requested it.
yeah, but I've also had a request to go in to have a annual blood test for my pre-diabetes. So that was quite amusing, actually. They sent me a message to book it, all automated. So bip, 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 bip. About 10 minutes later, I get a message saying, don't forget you've got an appointment next week. Well, I've only just made it. That's a bit keen.
Well, it was like with my pills that time, wasn't it? From the haematology. Oh, I want you to take these. It took me, 3 months to get the surgery to prescribe them. They had the letter, they just hadn't read it. It's bloody ridiculous. Yeah, that's all they are, Ollie. They're all GPs now are an online or a phone service for prescriptions. That's all they want to do, unfortunately. I mean, I kicked up about it once in there, and all they said was, "Well, if you don't like it, we'll, go and find another surgery." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a great attitude, isn't it?"
But they don't want you as patients. They've got too many.
Oh yeah, and if anybody pushes you for the winter lurgy, as they're calling it now, that is actually the Nova virus, the winter Nova virus that's popped up, and they've actually got an intervention that they say they've got for that. The thing is, I used to go round to the surgery and bother them when they wouldn't answer the bloody phone, and now I can hardly walk round there. So. Right, I'm just going to get another drink, babe.
Okie dokie.
Oh.
I'm going to quote Lost Souls when she said we couldn't put together a decent one of us between all. We're all falling apart. Yeah, but Missy, if you're getting a message saying you need to go to the doctors for something, Holly's right. You need to go and get it looked at if there's something due.
If you get a request from your doctor to go in and see him, and then you can bring anything up, like the fact that you can't get an appointment for this, that, and the other.
Oh yeah, they want to talk to you if your blood pressure or your blood sugars are a bit high.
Can I answer these two, Wally? Thank you, Jen. Yes, Scar. Is your messages coming from your GP surgery, or is it coming from what they call general health? Because there's a difference. But I can tell you how to get round that and get them stopped. No, everybody has trouble with them, Missy. I mean, I actually spoke to the doctor the other day on the phone, both. And he said, well, we're opening up to more face-to-face appointments now. I said, well, you better tell your receptionist then.
I was pleased to see that my blood test was a face-to-face and not virtual.
I am Graham. Yeah, both. Right, Scar. If you actually get in touch with your surgery and tell them that you want the text messages to stop, they can actually take you off the register for all of the messages you'll get for the jabs. You will get an annual one for the flu jab if you're old enough. They will try and get you to do that, but that's only one text. And if it's the general health, if you scroll down to the bottom of the message, there is a spot on there where you can opt out. And it's quite easy. It's only 3 steps once you click into it. And I've done it, and I haven't had one text from them since. All I've had was one for me flu jab. You can opt out of them.
I just ignore mine.
I just hate them bother because if you don't reply to them or whatever, they just keep sending the bloody things. And now they got all these other ones that they're coming out with. They're just going to be bothering people more and more. Because I used to get them.
Looking back at my messages and I can't even see them. Oh, there we are. NHS vaccine, 16th of October. You can reply to this shortcode.
I don't know
To
whether
opt
mine
out,
is still on here.
click COVID invite preferences. So yeah, that's the one with the opt out.
Here we go. Yeah, there's the NHS. Yeah, it hasn't got it on here, but there, when you open the message, there is a link to click on, and then you'll get a text about cancelling the informations, and then you get a confirmation. I don't know whether you'll see that with that light. You can get no, it's not going to have it. A text saying that your preferences have been saved. You'll not receive national appointment invitations about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, the one I've got's got half a dozen different links in it. Half a dozen different links, and there's the one at the bottom for the.
Well, I'll show you where it is on them.
It's www.nhs.uk/COVID-invite preferences.
Graham, if you can't actually start legal action against them because it's classed as being for your own good. All you can do is change the preferences on what you accept and what you want from them. They're not classed as harassment communications because they're sent out to the general public. They're not just targeting one person. So I did look into it. There's no recourse on that, I'm afraid, mate.
No, all of these things say you can opt out. So if you don't opt out, you can't do them for harassment, which sort of makes sense, really.
Right, Scar, you're saying that we're guinea pigs. Now, I watched a video earlier on that came from a very, very reliable source who's usually right on the ball. She's very good. And I've shared the video on my Facebook page. I may put it up on YouTube. The censors on YouTube are a bit iffy at the moment. That they were actually fucking around with COVID back in 1967 with the spike protein. They were actually fucking around and injecting it into animals with varying results. And if YouTube are listening, that is information that's out there, it's public, and it's published. So don't want to get your channel into trouble, baby.
No, if it gets taken down, it gets taken down.
But that is now on my Facebook profile, and I believe it's still public. Yeah, I didn't know that, and I was quite surprised to see that. And funny enough, that was Pfizer as well. But Pfizer, believe it or not, have never actually cured anything. They've never produced anything that's actually cured any disease, virus, or anything since they've been going.
Oh, by the way, guys, you will start to see things accumulate behind me here. This is Christmas present fire. There was a few more hostages. There was another tub up here.
Exactly, past tense. I freed the hostages.
2 days. 2 days they lasted. Because they were delivered. Your camera's gone off focus.
Yeah, I moved.
Yeah, I know. 7 o'clock on Wednesday they were delivered, and it didn't even get to 7 o'clock tonight, and he was in there.
Well, it's like I said, though, if you hadn't
rescuing
have told
them.
me that they were there and you'd hidden them without my knowing, I wouldn't have worried about them.
Well, I'm sorry. I wasn't going to run them upstairs. You'd have been in here. You'd have been in here and
Yeah, but
seen
if you'd
them.
have hidden them under the bed
Oh, yeah,
settee
I've got
there
to
or something.
hide them now.
Yeah, bloody right. You know what I'm like with chocolate.
Yeah, so am I. Because that's the only problem with celebrations is we share. Because the ones I like, he isn't bothered about, and vice versa. I'll sort your focus out.
It should be all right now.
Okay, my eyes are buggered on one side.
I was going to say, my picture's all right here.
Well, you're not
And
as
it's a bit...
focused as I am.
Oh, how weird. That's because I have swapped cameras and I've put the resolution back up to 720.
Are you trying to relax, Holly?
Yeah, set some alarms and gin traps and things in the doorway. Yeah. Yeah,
No, I just won't buy any more chocolate now till Christmas.
I can't be trusted around chocolate. Yeah, trouble is they haven't got the hazelnuts in the caramel ones in them, Jen. They're just the Cadbury's caramel chocolate. That's it. Yeah.
And they're not they're Galaxy. They're not Cadbury's.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
No, they haven't even got the caramel ones in. Oh, yes, they have.
Oh yes, they have. They're Galaxy.
Oh, they are as well. It's the other ones you got up there that are Dairy Milkman.
Yeah.
Good evening, Karen.
Sorry. Yeah, these are the Cadbury's ones with the twirls and the dairy milk and the whispers and the.
Yeah, see now, if I'd have brought them ones down, that's it. The twirls and the whispers would have been gone.
Yeah. And we could have started. He's not pralines. I am. Sorry, Graham.
What she needs is a lockable cupboard up there for him. Although I am pretty adept at picking locks. And if I do get desperate, I have got a discard. So.
I must admit, it's an issue I have. Sit down to watch telly, and I'm trying to be good and not think about things like that. And the advert comes on, and what is it? Ferrero Rocher. Or
You are spoiling us.
Something else. And it's chocolate after chocolate after chocolate. And it's like, I know you're trying to push for Christmas for sales and buy this as a present and all the rest of it. But when you haven't got it in the house, it's not fair.
And then if you leave it till nearer Christmas to get them, the prices have gone up and no bugger's got any left.
Well, do you want instead of raiding your Jaffa cakes and going back to your game, do you want to come up and say hello again, Graham?
Oh, yes, I've got another bit of news tonight, haven't I, about the pubs. Now, we all know how they've tried to muller the pubs, trying to cut them down various ways, extra taxes on drinks and stuff like that. Well, this one, I think, is... I'm going to call it Starmer's revenge, because as we've seen now in several videos, himself and most of his party can't really go in a pub without getting harassed and heckled. So now they're putting a legislation forward to make into law that if anybody dissents, says anything racist, comes out with a racist joke, pisses anybody off the same as they do online, the landlord or the manager can be held responsible for those people and will be prosecuted for letting it happen in the licensed premises. So if you're in there having a bit of a crack with your mate, you're telling a joke, it gets a bit close to the bone. If it gets reported, the manager or the landlord will also be able to be held responsible, and he will also be forced to tell who the customers were.
Again, this is one of those stupid things that, how is a person behind the bar or not even on duty because he's upstairs in the office supposed to know what's going on in the corner of the pub when they can't even hear it behind the bar? Yep. It's like policing that you can't smoke in the garden. I'm sorry, if you're outside, you're outside.
Well, they've backtracked on that one, haven't they? They're not going to implement that now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you're on pub premises or outside the front door. If you're outside, you're outside, and it's unpoliceable. He's just,
Absolutely, Scott. He's a traitor to the country. I mean, Trump's son has already said that they're going to go after him for what he's been doing and the way he is. Trump wants to go after him because he's still considering, he is still sending millions to Zelensky, and Trump wants that stopped, obviously.
Well, he's going to stop the war, isn't he?
I personally think he's the guy to do it. If anybody can do it, it'll be him, because he was always on good terms with Putin. Now, Putin has already said, because Trump's offered to talk about it, Putin is ready to talk to Trump. Now, he's never been ready to talk to any of the other world leaders about it. Putin has always said, no, not a chance. But he has said he is willing to talk to Trump. So, who knows? Time will tell. I mean, Trump doesn't actually take the hot seat for a little while, obviously. There's got to be the handovers and shit like that. But, all right, Graham, take it easy, buddy. But, yeah, Lammy definitely needs to go. I mean, he's been an embarrassment to the country ever since he's been on that front bench. Absolute disgusting. And fair play to Kimmy Badenoch for asking if Starmer was going to apologise for what they said about Trump. And he avoided the question. He wouldn't answer it. So, but Elon Musk, he's already threatened to take the British government to court anyway. And fair play, he's got the money to do it, hasn't he? If he wanted to have a go. But unfortunately, our justice system doesn't work like America. You can't get a president, a prime minister, or what have you into court here. As far as I know, in America, you can. As they're seeing, I mean, Biden's up for impeachment now, isn't he? But they all do, Jen. Prime Minister's question times. Well, I call it Prime Minister's pantomime times, not question times. Any questions the MPs have got to put to Starmer, they've got to have those questions in 2 days, I think it is, previous to what you see on mainstream media live. So they can, and his researchers and himself can work out an answer or an avoidance to it. Resist! Hey, hello, buddy.
Oh, good evening, Resist. How are you?
Oh, the left is... they're having meltdowns all over the world, Jen. It's the only ones that are standing up and still keep going are the ones here. Yeah, it's and as for I don't know whether anybody saw the well, there are videos of it out on YouTube now of the thing in Manchester with putting the channel paddlers back in the hotel there. Now, they had a meeting in a church with members of the public, and there was also one of the local coppers there.
Excuse me 1 second, darling.
Yeah.
Stitch, I've just sent you the link. Messenger.
And they were asking these coppers questions, and one of them was, why haven't you arrested any of these people? And his answer was, we can't arrest anybody until they've broken the law. To which my answer was, well, just by being here, they've actually broken our laws. They have crossed and come into the country illegally, which is against our law. And this was pointed out to the copper, and he said, oh, well, no, that's the Home Office's area. No, it's law. The police are supposed to enforce the law. And then they switched to interviewing some of the refugees are welcome here, the Hope Not Hate protesters outside. And one stupid bitch there turned round and said, well, I think if you're asking somebody that's come into the country or checking up on them to see if they're a paedophile, apparently that's racist. Wanting to know if somebody's a paedophile or not is racist, according to these fucking idiots.
But as I said, and one of the guys in the church said, they're over here with no paperwork. There is no way of checking who they are, what they're guilty of, or anything. So it doesn't matter whether it's racist or not. You can't check because they've all got the same bloody name.
Don't worry about them, Jen. I get them all the time. In fact, let me see if I can find it, because I did screenshot this. I did remove the comment, which is something I very, very rarely do off my YouTube channel. There we go. Come on up. Screen. Is that it? Yeah, put that one up, bud. Now that is a comment that was on a video last week. First of all, he tried to correct my post because I posted something about Tommy Robinson. My post was correct, and all he's done there is say it was wrong, but this is what was right, and the post was right. And then he went into that tirade. Now, everybody knows that I'm a patriot. I would never, ever diss any of our veterans or heroes that were lost in the war or survived the war. Everybody knows that knows me. But when you look at the name at the top, Demon. Now, once you do a little bit of digging, it actually turns out that that person is a gentleman called Dave Mons. Well, if you're watching Dave Mons, I would reckon you should go back and play with your fucking little train sets there that you enjoy. Because all you are on YouTube is an absolute fucking troll.
Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure they don't realise and think of the fact that, you know, we can look at things like that. Now, that is the first ever comment that I've removed from my channel. I did leave it up for a few days, give people a chance to see it. But here's the thing. What they do is they don't make that comment directly to the channel. These idiots, they'll go to a thread that you're chatting to somebody with and they'll chuck it in there as a reply. They haven't even got the bottle to put it up at the top of the fucking channel. But yeah, you know, those sort of people are all over the place. They ain't got a clue what they're talking about half the time. Now, he'd only have had to have gone back through some of my previous videos to see what I say about the Patriots and what have you. that is a pure lefty melt.
But as I said at the time, I don't know what it is that you could have said or put in a comment that would make him think that's how you felt.
They don't need an excuse, darling.
Well, it took the time. It took the time to correct your post.
Yeah, but he didn't correct it. He hadn't corrected it.
I know. Okay.
He was there saying, "Oh, it was a civil case. It was over
the
previous court case," which I said it was. All he was doing was repeating what I said. It was just simply because I was talking about Tommy Robinson, who I've actually openly said that I don't particularly like the guy. I just agree with what he's, you know, what he says in his investigations, which just proves to me that he's a far left wanker. He's just trying to get a rise, that's all. He wanted me to go back at him in the comments just to cause an argument.
Yeah.
And I actually put a video up showing how these people can actually get paid for doing that. They'll make a comment and they'll get a paltry little payment for making a derogatory comment. If they get a reply, they'll get more. If they get more replies, they get a little bit more. If more people join the thread and argue with them, they get a little bit more. And these are the ones that are paid by the WEF. Sorry, guys, I'm not keeping up with the chat here. Sorry, babe, but I just wanted to show that one, just to mock him more than anything.
No, I didn't mind you showing it. It's all right. That wasn't the issue, but never mind.
The process of removing my driving license, I have to provide paperwork. No problem, but it doesn't apply to. If you're actually just renewing your license, Missy, all you have to do is send in a newer photograph. It's renewed after every 10 years.
And if you go into the post office, they'll check it's all signed and sealed and
they'll do it
over
for
the
you.
counter for a small fee. Yes, Stitch, yes.
What was she trying to download? Oh, the link.
Yeah. Well, it's going to come up the same.
Don't worry me. I went through a stage like this a year or so ago where they just kept coming in and trolling and trolling and trolling. I just ignored them and mocked them. But that one I've actually blocked him. No, exactly, Missy. We're better than that. I mean, you've only got to look at who causes the trouble anywhere in any of these protests. Yes, there are some far right wingers out there, but they're not. To me, they're not genuinely patriots. They wouldn't kick up like that. You get far better press if you protest sensibly. Nobody listens to any of the protests anyway. Not those in power, that's for sure.
Now that should work, Stitch. When I click on it, it tries to take me into the studio again. So
It worked first time for me.
yeah, and it's not like I've missed a letter or something. Oh, thank you.
Oh, could you hear that? Sorry. Yes,
You
no.
know we can hear it.
This was a problem in America with their voting system they just had. Harris and Biden actually tried to pass laws in certain states where their illegal immigrants were able to vote. Luckily enough, it was shouting down. It would put down, but it won't be long here before Starmer, if he stays in power, will turn around and say, right, we've granted them asylum now. They're a British citizen. Instantly, they get the right to vote.
Right, I've sent that to you as well, Lizzie. It's up to you,
But
darling,
I
when you hang
personally...
around.
Go on, sorry.
It's up to you if you hang around when the girls come up or leave us to it. I don't mind.
Yeah, I personally don't think that Starmer's going to last much longer. He's creating too much hassle with other countries. He said that he was late to the meeting in Hungary, and that's why he didn't get to meet the Hungarian ambassador or whatever he was. No, it wasn't. The guy snubbed him, and a lot of the leaders around the meetings and everywhere else have snubbed him as well. A lot of them won't even speak to him. So that they've had enough of him.
Well, Lizzie's made it in. So good evening,
Hello.
Lizzie.
Hello, Heather. Hello, Roger.
Good evening.
Thank you for allowing me to come up onto your panel.
Not a problem, darling. Like I say, everybody's welcome. You've only got to let me know you want the link, and I will happily send it over for you.
Yes, he was, Jen. And he's still being snubbed at the moment. And I think that what I said in my video the other day, I think it was, anywhere that they go in public, people should turn their backs on them. If they walk in a pub, they should be heckled out. If they try and talk to anybody, turn your back on them, ignore them. And I do believe that the veterans are planning to turn their back on him at the cenotaph on Sunday.
Did you hear, Roger, that they're trying to stop the farmers? The farmers are supposed to be protesting, and there are certain to do with Richard Inman, Paul Thorpe, and they were all going to join them, and apparently the farmers have been told they cannot have this protest march.
Yeah, what it is, any protest in London will be illegal unless it's authorised by the Metropolitan Police and the Mayor. Not necessarily the Mayor, but the Mayor. They have their permission.
It's all right for some of these protests then that have nothing to do with this country, but anything to do with this country is going to get banned. Yeah, okay.
This is the thing. People were saying, well, they didn't want Tommy Robinson with his show and the big screen and that there. But the Met actually allowed it. They gave permission. Now, when they give permission, they can put a time scale on it. They can't control the size. The size of the last one caught the Met out. But they can say, right, you can have it from such and such an hour. It must be shut down by this time.
Yeah, Roger, I actually wasn't talking about that, but I didn't really want to say what I was talking about because obviously I don't want to say anything too controversial, and I don't want to get.
No, I think I'm about to say it. Wasn't there something about an remembrance.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with the farmers. So
No, wasn't there something to do with has been
there's
given?
supposed to be an anti-Patriots Day, a protest against Remembrance Sunday.
And when's
Yeah.
that? And where is it?
Well, it would be in London at Cenotaph, wouldn't it? Or around the
When?
Cenotaph. Sunday.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about, and I will be careful in my words, is that there has been every week since about October, there has been this certain rally that has been allowed to take place, and that seems to be okay. But
Yeah.
when we start marching or protesting or turning up, just saying that we're not happy, with something to do with our own country, doesn't seem to be allowed.
Yeah, that's bias policing. That's what
Yeah.
that's what the British are fighting against, is the bias policing, letting them protest, but not us. That's why they couldn't really refuse Tommy Robinson doing one, because they did even allow an opposition protest on the day of Tommy Robinson's one. There was 2 different other protests in the city at the same time.
I just think it's laughable. Regarding,
I think it's treasonous.
well, I'm sorry, I didn't explain what I meant, but in terms of, I agree with you, Roger. But I think it's laughable that all this stuff around TR, and apparently his sister lived in another flat. I lived with it. Well, apparently his sister lived in the block that I live in. A few years ago. I don't know if that's true. She certainly did look like him, but obviously he's got another name and she's got another name and whatever. But anyway, that's by the by. But we all see every day about people who commit crimes. Now, and I'm talking more so of a certain demographic, but I'm not really sure what crime, whether you like this bloke or not, I'm not really sure what crime this bloke has committed, and this is what worries me.
It was a civil offence.
Yes, exactly,
It
Roger.
wasn't a criminal offence. It was a civil offence.
So why is he being treated the way he's being treated? And this is very worrying, because if this government continues to stay in power, I don't think it will come to this in this country. But what worries me is that we are, we are on the little steps, should I say, in my opinion, to things that go on in, shall I say, other countries in this world regarding political prisoners.
What it is, it's
And
the
I
same.
hope to God that doesn't come to that, Roger, because I watched a video last night, and if it does come to that, then this country really has fallen. And I'll talk.
Is they want a totalitarian rule. They do not want people putting out anything that shows them up as being wrong, and anybody that tries, which Tommy's been doing, they will try anything to silence them, just the same as they used to in Russia with the communist regime, just like they do in China, just like they do in
North Korea. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to be, I didn't want to say anything too controversial.
No, it's not controversial. This is all common knowledge.
Say it simple, say it clear, and then there is no misinterpretation.
Oh no, it was only because I didn't want to say anything controversial that would affect Heather's channel.
And I'm saying say it. And then
Okay.
if you say something clearly, that is your opinion, then that's absolutely fine. But when you talk in riddles, people can misconstrue what you're trying to say.
This is what they're trying to silence, is people having those sort of opinions.
Okay, I do apologise.
At the moment, they can't, because we still have a reasonable amount of free speech, and people don't seem to think they have. But if people went to court and fought a lot of these cases over the freedom of speech and freedom of expression, they would actually walk away. But because they can't afford solicitors and lawyers, they get harassed and badgered into pleading guilty, which straight away means they can be fined, locked up, put on restrictions, put on bail, whatever.
I'm sorry, I was only sort of saying things out of respect for Heather's channel.
No, I appreciate that, and it's not an issue. But like I said, when Roger says hopefully it won't shut your channel down, I don't care. If somebody says something is their opinion, that's what it is. It's their opinion.
Yes, Scarjees, what you just put in that comment, that is basically the model for what they're doing now. The way that film is made, that is exactly what they're trying to do.
George Orwell could see it coming all those years ago. George Orwell could see it coming.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the reasons it was on the reading curricula when we were at school.
It can even go back further than that. In fact, the film was on yesterday. I don't know whether anybody's seen it. A film called The Great Dictator that was made back in the 30s by Charlie Chaplin, believe it or not. Now, he filmed a speech in that dressed as a dictator. Now, that speech is on YouTube. If anybody wants to watch it at some point, The Great Dictator, Chaplin's speech, you listen to that and listen to what he says, and you tell me that isn't happening today. And he said about it, he said what was going to happen, and he said the only way you can avoid it. That was back in the 30s.
But do you not think, Roger, right, that every century this has been the problem? All right, I think every century has had problems, and every century had, new how can I explain this? I don't think we're dealing with anything different that people had in the 18th century or the 17th century. It was just different problems in different times, and there were probably people that spoke up in those centuries. We're just going through the same thing.
Yep.
I don't think it's any different.
Nothing's new.
Yes.
Nothing
new. Other countries have faced the problems we're having now. And I won't use the word religion. I will say Islam. Now, you've only got to look at the past in Iran. Now, a few years ago, Iran, their societies were no different to what we've been like in England.
Yes, Roger.
Someone else said this. They had beautiful women dressed in Western clothes. They looked absolutely gorgeous. And you look at the way they have to dress now. Now Islam has ruled over there. Islam has pulled in, overrun the country. People have to be covered up. They're not allowed to speak out. Iran had exactly the same freedom of speech as we did in their citizens. It's all gone out the window. Now, if you see what's happened in the last, say 10 years in Iran, that is the way we're heading here. Believe me.
We can stop this, Roger. if there is enough people to get up off their arses, and that sorry, men and women.
This is what I said last week, Lizzie. They have fractionalized the people of this country so much that they will not stand together. You need the whole country to stand up, and it won't happen because there's
I
too
agree
many.
with you. I agree. I'll be honest with you. I'm in two minds because, you know, I would be fighting more if I had children, but I also feel that, well, I haven't got anything to lose, have I? You know, it's just me. So
Well,
I might as well just, I might as well just.
the way you got to look at it, to clean this country up, you've got to change the mindset of the authorities, the people that run the country, the powers that be, the police, and people like that. Now, if most of the country rose up, they could be pushed about. You know, there's far more of us than there is of them. But they've got us fighting against another religion. They've been importing these people deliberately, as far as I'm concerned, to cause this trouble. So we're concentrating on them and the police and the government, and any war where you're fighting on several fronts at the same time, you're very unlikely to win. That's military tactics.
But we can't even get everybody to get off their asses and go and vote.
No, because they fractionalized us.
Yes.
That's the reason why. That's why I said last week.
Oh, she's made it. Hang on. Let me verbal warning so I don't give a heart attack bringing her up. She's making a cup of tea. She's making hello.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
She's got a microphone on mute, so that we
Hello.
can hear the tink tink stirring in the cup of her.
Yeah, I muted myself while I was making the brew. I'm almost done. 2 secs. Sorry, I'll mute myself again.
No. You've got to have a cup of tea. You've got to have a cup of tea. You made it in eventually. My can's empty. Oh,
It's lovely to see Ellen because normally I've only ever seen her under a hood. So it's lovely to see her face. You look lovely.
is your hoodie in the wash?
We've been having we've been having a little chat on Messenger, me and Ellen, and I actually spoke to Dan today about because I'm planning on going up to Essex for a month. So I did actually say to him I'd treat him to lunch because he said, "Oh, if you're up there while I'm up there, we'll meet up." So I said, "Okay, well, I'll treat you to lunch, Dan." Because I was talking to him about his car, but it wasn't. He couldn't give me the answer. I got the wrong end of the stick, and he couldn't give me the answers, which wasn't his fault. But yeah.
What did you want to know about his car?
Well, I thought he got his car on PIP.
No,
but he didn't.
No.
So that was the end of it. That was the end of that. So, but in any case, we established that, and we had a bit of a laugh and a joke. And then he said, "You know, if you're up during Christmas, give me a shout." And I said, "Okay, I'll be up for a month. If you're around, I'll treat you to lunch, Dan."
The thing with getting a car on PIP, basically, if for any reason they decide they want to shut your payments down, anything with your claim, you've lost your transport. If you own your own vehicle, yes, they will give you the extra money to fuel it, tax it, insure it. But then you can take over, though. You don't lose your vehicle.
Well, I'm used to losing a vehicle, Roger, but that was nothing to do with Pip. It's been a couple of years. I've been driving for 30 years, but it's been a long time. I'm now in a position where I could possibly, get a vehicle through Pip. And unfortunately, well, my PIP claim is going to last a good couple of years, so it might be the only way because I very rarely go out, Roger.
I was just say the only good thing with PIP is they usually supply brand new vehicles, and you can renew those vehicles every 3 years.
Well, I've never, because it's a leasing thing, isn't it? I mean, I've never
it's
done.
never yours.
No,
it's never ever yours. A neighbour of mine started out. They got a little car. I can't remember what it was. I'll say an Escort, a few years old, not the best. And suddenly they got PIP, or disability living allowance as it was back in those days. And they decided to sell their car and just use the disability car. And I said, don't do that. Use that money to buy a better car, by all means. Save it up for a few months. And I think it was £250 a month at the time. And I said, if you save that for 4 months, you've got £1,000 that you can then go out and put towards a car. With the trading of your car, I can see little Stitch.
She can see you.
Little Stitch.
A lot of people don't realise is that if the government decided at any point that they wanted all vehicles off the road, they can do it.
Oh yeah, I get that, Roger, but
no, because nobody actually owns their own vehicle. If you bought it, it's yours. No, it's not.
I get that, but at the moment, that, to be honest with you, that's the only opportunity that I have to get transport, and to be honest, it makes me feel a bit secure, because at least I can get in the car.
There's other ways of doing it, Lizzie. The danger is if they take the PIP away from you, you lose the car, which is what happened to my neighbour. And they were then in the situation they'd got nothing to trade in, no PIP coming in, and so ended up with a knackered old can't remember what they went for, but whereas if they'd have, over the years, rather than have the new one and pay a fortune for every scratch and dink on it at the end of the 3 years, they could have built their car into a better one that they owned outright. So there's other ways rather than doing it through the mobility scheme.
Well,
that's
they've
all
actually got a BMW 4x4 now.
Yeah, because they've had chance to save up.
But I think they're selling that because she was out there taking pictures of it the other day.
Yeah, but they're doing now what I told them to do in the first place, and that is save the money and put and upgrade, and save the money and upgrade.
See, I don't have any money to save per se. Well, that's going to take me a long time to save up for a decent car.
It doesn't have to be a decent one as long as it works and gets you where you wanted to go. We've got an 11-year-old Ford.
Roger, I've never had a brand new car, so it's not like I'm sitting here. I mean, my last car was actually my dad's last car. And it was only because it was serviced and looked after and it was bought brand new, and Mum was in a position to get another car. So she said, well, you might as well have this car, because I didn't have a car at the time and she wouldn't get anything on part exchange for it. So she gave it to me and it was in perfect working order.
Well, I
And then
spent probably 10 years where the only vehicles I drove on the road legally were ones that were given to me for banger racing that still had a bit of MOT on them.
yeah, but that was, you see, this is what worries me, Roger, is that back in those days, it was, you know, I've not always driven, I've driven some nice vehicles, I've had some nice vehicles, and I've had some not so nice vehicles. But now it really worries me because I'm really, I've, even though I've had a license for 30 years and I've been driving for about 30 years, now I'm 5 years out of the game and I'm like, I mean, I'm certainly not in a position at the moment to go out and even get finance for a car. And this thing with this PIP thing, it's the only opportunity that I'm, you know, I mean, as you know, I've never been married. I'm not living on a divorce settlement or anything like that. I'm not funded. And
That's what I'm saying, though. If your circumstances change at any time in the future, you can lose that car.
yeah, I know, but if my circumstances change, hopefully that could be for the better, which is fine. You know, I'm not gonna, the car will give me so much security in
Well, it
terms
won't
of,
give you security. It will give you a bit more freedom.
yeah, but it will give me security because it means that I could just get in the car and go down to Essex to, you know, to be
Oh,
with
yeah.
my brother
Yeah,
and
without
sister.
going on the train or the bus,
Yeah,
without
yeah.
using public transport, which will make it a bit safer. Well, I'm saying that the state of some of the idiots on the road now, it's not so much.
Well,
But
yeah,
there's so much legislation now.
I
that
know,
government
and
are
this is
putting
another
in.
thing that worried me. I keep seeing all these things about, you know, I'm going to have to really look into all these laws and everything. I mean, not that I'm going to, you know, blatantly disregard them, like as in sit there with my mobile phone in my hand, but I want to get myself a bit more clued up on things.
What they're actually doing is invoking or using some of the existing laws more. Now, usually, particularly in older drivers, there is a stipulation, as you know, on a sight test. It's on the test as well when you take your test that you've got to have a certain level of vision. You know, read a number plate at a certain distance, etc. Now,
Yeah,
up until this year,
excuse me.
the police only invoked that, and it is law, they can enforce it. Now, normally the police would only get you to do an eye test or do an on the road eye test if you had an accident or something like that. But now they're actually putting in checkpoints, and they've had one in the West Midlands recently
Bloody
where
hell.
they have the police parked alongside the road, you know, like they do during the Christmas for the drink driving. They do pull all the cars in. If they smell drink, you get breathalyzed. Where they're actually doing that now for sight tests with drivers of all ages.
I said when you said about it, I don't have an issue because I've started wearing my glasses all the time now because I've realised what a difference they make. And
Oh yeah, I know, and I agree. If you've got bad vision, you shouldn't be driving.
yeah,
But they never ever did spot checks and roadside checks like that unless there was an issue. Now they're doing them because they can, because they will catch people out.
yes,
People that have been driving perfectly safely, but their eyes are just that little bit out, and they'll have them. They're using any excuse. You used to get pulled, you get given a producer where you take your license and your paperwork to a police station within 7 days. Even for insurance. Tax, you used to get so many days to tax your vehicle.
The woman that pulled out in front of me said, I didn't see you.
Yeah. But what they're doing now, instead of using the old-fashioned way, if there's a defect on your car, unless it's dangerous, you've got 7 days to get it fixed and get a certificate to say it's been fixed. Now, they're not even bothering with that. They're just impounding your car there and then. They're doing everything they can to take cars off the road.
But there's too many people using that I just didn't see you type line. And so, yeah, if that's the case, you shouldn't be bloody driving. The fact that they're impounding and scrapping is wrong if the vehicle's legal. But, hey. Anyway, Stitch.
Yeah, she dropped out again.
Yeah, she's back.
Hello.
Stitch, how are you, darling?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. But had a bit of a busy week, but...
Stitch,
I feel
it's
well
lovely
awful.
to see you, Stitch. It's lovely
I
to
feel
see
well
you. That
awkward. I don't like it. I feel like really awkward. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel really awkward.
Stitch, you've got so much. Your hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't know why you don't show yourself on camera
I just don't like.
more often.
No, but
I told you, didn't I? It's because I don't like my face in it. It just pisses me off.
You think you've got problems?
Come on.
Yeah, but you're not ugly, Popso.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes. You're not ugly. You're not ugly, hun. So stop it.
Ellen, you're beautiful. Take that hand.
I look cool. I look
take
cool,
that
like
hand away from your face.
I look cool,
And
like.
And I'm older than
gross,
you,
I
and I'm
like
telling
it.
you what to do. Take
I just
that.
feel like I'm
Get up. Stop it. Take
best
that
way-
hand
the
away
best
from
way
your
to
face.
see
You're
beauty-
beautiful.
The best way to see beauty is shut your eyes and look at yourself, because it starts on the inside. Beauty starts on the inside.
Yes.
We all look at our own image and we don't like it. That's a fact. It's because of the way we've been brought up that you should look like this. You're not a 10. You don't have this, you don't have that, and it's wrong, because we're all individuals, and if we all look the same, then the world will be a bloody ugly place. It really would.
A 10 is never achievable, because nothing is ever perfect.
Exactly. And Ellen, look at you. I can't even come up as myself. I have to put a photograph up. So look at you. You're doing good.
Well, I
I'm
actually
being
look
brave
better in
today.
mine as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, your photo's much better than seeing your ugly move.
I
Don't be
was
so
brave.
self-conscious, darling. Seriously.
I took Dylan Little Stitch to his first concert last weekend. And I was absolutely crapping myself before I went, but it was so cool.
Who did you go and see?
Nick Harper.
Okay, not a name I know. I shouldn't have asked that question.
You know that I googled that, Ellen, and
Did you? He's amazing, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. I told you. I wish I'd been there.
It was
I love
absolutely
live music.
incredible. It was so cool, and I got a really nice picture of him in Little Stitch. Not so Little Stitch. I sent the picture to Jenny. I've sent it to you, Heather. It's a really nice picture actually. But yeah, it was really cool. Get out of my comfort zone, like going out and being around human beings. But I did all right. I spoke to a few human beings, and it was all right.
No, fair play to you.
Do you know what I think is really what I don't understand is that I look at you, Ellen, and I think, oh my God, look at that beautiful woman. Look at that, your gorgeous hair. And then we all talk about our issues, and people think, well, I don't really get why you're thinking like that. But it's so real to us.
Yeah, because I was like saying, say like that, because I've got really swollen legs like Pops has, and I've been taking these tablets, and they've made them go littler again. So I'm able to wear my jeans again, which is really nice. Because before I couldn't, because I couldn't get them over my leg because it was so swollen. And I was saying like I wish that I could wear like better, nicer tops, because but then I can't, because to me my back is disgusting. And so if I wear something that's tighter, you can see it. But then like when I'm wearing stuff like this, it makes me look bigger because it's baggy, innit? But I'm not actually that big. I'm like size 8. That's small, innit? But because I wear these, I look, but I can't wear smaller things because I think it's because like a few years ago, I was being dead brave and I put a t-shirt on and I went because it was really hot. And I went into town and these kids started shouting like the bells and Quasimodo and that, and everyone was like looking at me, and I ended up having like a huge panic attack and I had to go home. And since then I haven't been able to wear anything tighter, because even though I know it doesn't really make a difference, because if I stand to the side you could see it, like if I stood like that you could see it, but to me it makes me feel better, but it doesn't make me look nice. It just makes me look frumpy.
I know exactly what you mean, darling. I I have issues and have had since the accident, but my left leg swells up, so I wear trousers to hide it, but I won't wear tight fitting trousers because that will just exaggerate it. I end up with one leg like that and one leg like that. So
Mhm.
I hide that to the best of my ability. How you hide the things that you're not happy with, I don't know. I can't advise, but there must be something you can wear that helps, that isn't just a great big huge
The
jumping
thing is,
thing.
like, there is a website that sells scoliosis and kyphosis clothing,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of like women's clothing that kind of goes with the curve. Because at the moment, I can't wear women's clothes because one part of my back goes
Neither can I.
like that, and then the other part is like outwards, so it's like a hump
Yes.
that's on my shoulder. So, because I've got both, because I'm greedy, I can't just have one. I've got to have both, because I'm greedy like that.
Well, yeah.
But you can buy clothes, but it looks like something made out of your old nana's tops. Like it's like like flowers and dots and stripes, and it's like that ain't me though. There ain't nothing that looks like something that I would personally wear, and I don't know. I mean, you can't
Are they very?
really see it that bad, can you? Or can you?
No, no. But I was going to say, is there? Are they very expensive?
Yes.
And that becomes the problem. It's it might be. I'm trying to find the wearing something that is too fitted would exaggerate the issue, but
Mhm.
something in between, tight fitted and huge loose, you might find it's not that noticeable. Maybe you could try getting a few bits and pieces that you do like, when you can afford them,
Mhm.
and trying them at home, getting a friend to give an opinion, what they think. And you've always got to remember that there's always that horrible group that are going to call you names regardless, darling. And you have to rise up. You have to rise up. But it's finding the right things to wear, and
Yeah.
to give you a bit more confidence.
Yeah.
That's your problem. You've been knocked down and knocked down and knocked down and called names and everything else, and dealt with quite a lot of shit in your life, and it's taken away your self-esteem and your confidence. You are absolutely beautiful. You've got lovely hair. You're not fugly in any way, shape, or form. You've got a beauty. There it is. There it is. Beautiful. No, don't hide it. Don't hide it. Please don't hide it. That beautiful smile is there. But because you've had people knock you back and make horrible comments, you're always going to be afraid to come forward, and there's no need. There's no need at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellen, I totally understand how you feel, because I have vitiligo and I'm not able to wear all the clothes that I've ever wished I could wear. And obviously, you know, I have problems with the way I look. But, you know, I look at you and I see a really strong woman. And I mean, your hair, I wish I had hair like yours. You know, I try and put everything on my hair and it still won't look as thick and wonderful as yours. You know,
I
Yeah.
used to hate my hair when I was younger, but now I'm like, yeah, man, rock is
This
ginger.
is
I like it.
what amazes me with women. Oh, my hair doesn't look right. I wish my hair was different. Now, you've got to think how some of us bloke feels that haven't fucking got any and can't grow any. How do you think we feel?
I tell you what, my hair is the only thing about me that I like. I quite like my eyes because they're blue. That's quite
I can
nice. It's
grow
kind
more
of
hairs
rare
on
to be ginger and with blue eyes. I
I
like
can,
my eyes. I like my hair. That's it.
I can grow more hair on my chin and my ass than I can on my head.
what I don't understand
True,
is
Dad.
why does your beard grow, Roger, and the hair on your head doesn't grow? I don't understand that.
Maybe it only grows around the two holes where the most shit comes out of. You know?
You
True,
see it,
Dad.
Roger, not me.
True, Dad.
Ellen, you see,
My hair wasn't far off, actually, the length of stitches at one point in my life.
I
Wow.
can believe that.
It came
Mine's
down to
like
about there, the same level as my beard.
mine's like can you see it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, Ellen.
It's
See,
almost
I
that's no
love
too
problem
late.
on Halloween going out as Cousin It.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Well, that's what I used to do. I used to pull mine all round, put it over my face, put my crash helmet on, and put the strap under there. So it was,
Oh,
There you
why?
go.
yeah, there
Why?
you go.
And then wonder why you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, that's why I used to fall off regularly.
Yeah.
You
But
see,
no,
like the rest of it, Ellen, you see something different to what we see, and that will never change. That is our problem.
but you have an issue with self-image. I have an issue with self-image. We've all got something that, given £1 million in the bank, that we could do what the hell we liked with, we'd all change something about ourselves. But at least none of us have got balloon lips.
Well, this is another
No.
difference between male and female. Isn't it? The women are all happy with something that are unhappy with something they consider to be too big. Most blokes are unhappy with something they consider to be too small.
Well,
But
no, lips. My top lip is almost invisible. It's
well,
so
am I?
thin. I always wanted bigger top lip. I always wanted bigger heart. You know, suck on a glass and try and make it to stick out. As a kid,
I've never noticed my lips before. Oh, no.
Yeah, but do you know what I think? What is really great is that Heather, Ellen, and me are totally and utterly natural, and we're, as far as I'm concerned, we're beautiful. Because
yes.
I would not be on a stream right now with someone that had lip fillers and cheek fillers and every other filler in their face. I mean, it's up to everyone, I know, but you know, if that's what you want. But I'd rather be on a stream with natural ladies. Sorry, Roger, I'm not including you in this, obviously. You're not a natural lady.
But he's all
For sure.
natural.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know, Roger. But I'm talking to some beautiful women right now who are totally and utterly natural, and I think I'm blessed.
Yeah, but
Personally.
you're also amongst that group. You're part of the beautiful people. We're all beautiful people, because it. But we all look at ourselves and go, "I'd change this. I'd change that. I wish I was thinner. I should exercise more and eat less chocolate." And I'm still sat here with chocolates in front of me because I'm weak. I'm feeble, and he's a feeder. If he hadn't rescued the chocolate,
I do more feeding of myself than anybody else.
But we all have our go-tos when you're not at 100%. We all have our go-tos to help us through our issues and everything else.
But don't you think it's great that we've got 3 women here that are totally natural and totally fighters, and we can do life.
But there's not just the 3 of us.
Sorry, Roger. I know you're in the chat, and
No,
I'm.
that's right.
No, ignore him. No, what I'm saying is, you've got Jenny, who's 100% unadulterated, bless her, and beautiful. Holly,
Jenny's lush. So Holly.
Karen.
Yeah.
But everybody that comes in here,
absolutely.
And it's not just the 3 of us, it's all of us. And the boys that come in and join us are sincere, genuine, good-hearted men.
Yeah.
I haven't seen most of them. They could be fugly. I really don't care. But what I do know about them is the part of their lives that they've shown me in the chat by what they've done and how they feel about things. And it shows me that they are genuine guys. And it's lovely.
What the ladies, what you seem to don't realise is you always, a lot of ladies, and I'm not putting everybody down by saying this, a lot of women aren't happy with the way they look. But what you don't consider is people looking at you don't feel the same way as you do.
Yes.
And I'm giving a guy's perspective.
We
here.
all know that. It doesn't
Now,
stop us.
I see these women on YouTube, influencers, what have you. You know, people say, "Oh, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous." I don't see them that way. I think that if they have to look like that, there's something wrong with them naturally. It's made up. It's a mask. It's a show. That is never the real person.
But
you know.
it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter what it is about anybody, male or female. There is always something that they have an issue with. Nobody else does. Everybody
Exactly.
else thinks they're absolutely fine. And
Yep.
that's what I'm saying to Little Stitch, you know. She needs a way to boost her self-esteem. And I don't quite know how we're going to do it, but we will do it.
It's personal confidence.
We will do it.
Personal
We will
confidence.
boost Stitch's self-esteem.
She is beautiful. I mean, that long hair. I wish I could grow my hair that long. She's gorgeous. I mean, I've never had a tattoo, but I actually do think they're lovely. But I actually can't afford to have one, and I would have one if I could afford it. But
I love my tattoos.
she's gorgeous, and you know what I love about this. I'm not sorry, Roger. I'm not going to include Roger in this because he's a man, but I don't mean that in a sexist way. All the women that are on this are just natural women. We're not sitting here with, you know, lip fillers and cheek things and forehead Botox, whatever. You know, we're all natural women. I know I'm a photograph, so that sounds a bit hypocritical, but
we're all broke as well.
I'm sorry. The actual me would look even more ugly than what the photograph does. So I
But
can't.
this is part of the problem.
You're not ugly though.
Well, that's very kind of you to say so.
You can afford to do these things. Is you constantly thrive for perfection, and that's why we end up with so many fugly women where something's gone wrong because they've tried a bit too hard, and they should have stopped. Michael Jackson should have stopped 18 surgeries ago, but no, he kept going because he wasn't quite where he wanted to be, and something had gone wrong, so you end up with another surgery to try and put it right. And
well, that is the same with Katie Price. I mean, she was beautiful before she even started the surgeries.
I never considered her a beautiful woman.
Well, she was a natural. To be honest with you, I thought she was naturally beautiful before she started them. I'm not into Katie Price or whatever, but I think she's got a psychological issue with the way she looks, and she will never be happy with the way she looks, and I think that's very sad.
But you know, it's not just women that do it. Look what Pete Burns did to himself, bless him. He was quite a good Pete Burns.
Oh, I know. I actually
he was
thought
quite a good-looking guy in the days of Dead or Alive and spin me round like.
Well, I thought he was. Well, I wouldn't have said no.
Well, that's what I mean. But he wasn't happy. So one thing after another.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to be honest, I know, you know, this is where the psychological bit comes in. I thought he was gorgeous when he started at Dead or Alive, you know, but when he finished, I didn't think he was that desirable.
He got to a reasonable point, and then he should have stopped.
Yeah, but they don't.
But he still wasn't happy. He still didn't. He hadn't achieved what he wanted. So it's men and women, and I'm in a way I haven't got money because I'd have probably gone down that same route of I don't like this and I don't like that and I want to change this and I want to change that. But I'm broke. I can't afford to do that. So I'm stuck with what I got, and so's Roger.
But the thing is, they've got money and they're never happy because they never will be. They will never be happy with the result of whatever plastic surgery they have. And we just have to put up with it. You know, we can't even go for the first round, let alone the 20th round. But, you know, I mean, it's really not, I don't think it's really advisable. I mean, you look at, I mean, with respect, Jackie Stallone, I mean, you know,
Oh my goodness.
if she was, you know, why you shouldn't have plastic surgery,
Yeah.
or even Sylvester. I mean, my God, he's a bloody hunk. What the bloody hell has he done to himself?
He's tried to keep looking 50. End of. That's all. That was what he wanted. He wanted to stay looking young. But Cher has managed to do it and do it well.
Yes,
But
she's the only one that has.
no. Little Dolly Parton's managed it as well.
Oh, okay, agreed, yes.
So
But
you know, there
doesn't
are a
it sound,
few out there that have done it the right way.
I mean, what was her name? Jocelyn Wildstein, whatever, whose husband was a plastic surgeon. I think he was trying to get revenge, I think. But if they can't manage to get it right, how the bloody hell are we supposed to? With our limited money.
But that's it. You don't go down that road. You're not tempted down that road because you can't afford it. And you know damn well if you go to one of these cheap back street doctors, then you could end up with all sorts of crap, and you're going to end up paying for it to have it put right. So,
Well, I think it's quite sad these days that so many young girls want to have plastic surgery, especially in their 20s. I mean,
Well, there you go. I used to be quite a chunk at one point.
you're getting there again.
is that? I'm not sure which one is you, Roger.
Yellow shirties, Roger.
The Ali G lookalike.
I was going to say, is that the Ali G lookalike?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Roger, it's really hard, I think, actually, to accept getting older. But what a lot of these celebrities, and this is just my humble, stupid opinion, but I think what a lot of the celebrities do is they can't hack getting older, and they try all these things to make themselves look younger. I mean, we can't afford it, so possibly
They've got an image and a persona to
Yeah.
keep up, to keep themselves in the limelight.
I mean, my mum had breast cancer, and she was fairly old, and I think you know, she wasn't she didn't think that she needed augmentation or anything like that. You know, she wasn't young. It didn't, you know, she was with Dad and they'd been in love for all these years and all, you know, it didn't make any difference. And I don't really get this. Well, it really annoys me about all this breast augmentation because, I mean, okay, I was fairly blessed, but I don't like all this pumping up because of so-called men. And you know, it's hard enough if you're a woman, if you suffer breast cancer, or you know, I don't like the I don't know what
it's back to the whole image thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, yeah, your mom was very brave to go, actually, yeah, I don't need them. I'm not going to have children. I don't need to wear low-cut dresses anymore.
she had a husband that loved her, whether she had a, you know,
Yeah.
whether she had a
Yes.
mastectomy or not.
Sorry. The point I was trying to make was, yes, she was very brave to do it. But when I was growing up and people had breast cancer, they lost a breast, full stop. There was no reconstructive surgery on the day. There wasn't, we'll take that out and we'll put this in, so nobody ever knows.
Yeah.
That didn't exist. So you had to suffer the surgery. You had to then recover, and then if they thought you needed it, you might get it. But it wasn't automatic on the National Health. Now, I'm guessing your mom grew up, well, I know damn well she would have grown up in that sort of age because she was your mom. But yes, when you've got somebody there by your side, you're not looking for a partner, it's less important. But
Yes.
actually, I got used to these puppies. You know, it would be, and the fact that they can do it now and they will do it now, I think if I found out that I got breast cancer and had to have a mastectomy, I'm very drawn towards reconstructive surgery because I'm used to having them there. I wouldn't want to be without them.
Well, if you lost one of
That
yours,
makes
you'd be
sense.
falling over all the bloody time because you'd be totally lopsided. The size of them.
I'd be falling over backwards.
You'd be walking like this.
Thank you, Roger, for your absolutely wonderful total input. And sorry, I was being sarcastic, Roger, because obviously I know you and Heather were. Sorry,
But the thing is, now,
I was
again,
being rude.
This
Sorry.
is from a bloke's point of view again. Now, if you fall in love with someone, that love should never go away, no matter how that person changes.
Absolutely.
No matter how they look like, that never goes away. Or it shouldn't. If it does, then they're a false person and you shouldn't be with them.
Excuse me, did I say I want them there for you or for me?
Never hear you objection when I play with them.
No, but what I'm saying wasn't that I'd want them there for you or for anybody else.
Oh,
It
no,
was
no.
for me, because
Yeah.
I'm used to having them.
Yeah.
And yes, I know damn well that it wouldn't affect your love for me if I only had one or didn't have either of them.
No.
Because our relationship isn't about how I look. If it was, you wouldn't be with me.
You
But
probably wouldn't have given me a second look.
Yeah, exactly. It's can I cook and all the rest of it, and have I got room in the garden for a shed?
Absolutely.
So, but it depends on each person. But we are brought up, and it's still there now, and it's almost worse with TikTok and everything else, that people are still trying to achieve that level of Barbie type figure.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nobody wants to be a Cindy doll. Everybody wanted to be a Barbie doll. But it's how we grew up. It's how we lived.
Yeah, but also let us remember that, you know, we all know, you know, sorry, Roger, I love you, Roger, but we all know Roger's a bloke, right? And he can get on our nerves, right? Love you, Roger. We all know that Roger's a bloke, but he ain't all that bad, actually. And you and Heather, you know, you've got an understanding. You've been together, you know, a lot of years, and I know, just because you've been together a lot of years doesn't mean to say that everything's perfect, but it ain't all bad. And coming from me, who has got a sort of not really happy about men, but you're a good bloke, Roger. We all know that. When push comes to shove,
I'll shove him.
You've only got to look at some of these celebrities. Now, you look at the ones that have lasted through the years, no matter what they look like, no matter how old they've got.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, I was thinking more particular, Goldie Hawn.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Is it Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. You look at the pictures that have been in the press lately of those. She's overweight. She's got a bit of a pot belly on her. He's got very, very old. And they're still blissfully happy together.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Now, you look at some of the celebrity couples, the younger ones nowadays, they've got to go and have surgery all the time. The bloke's got to go and pump
It's
weight.
not about physical appearance.
Yeah, they're not happy with
And
themselves, and they're not happy in a relationship.
initially it is. Initially, when you set eyes on someone, of course it's about initial appearance. But if you are going to spend that length of time with someone, it has to be about their inner stuff and their morals and their views. The physical stuff, sorry.
Everybody has a different perception and a different idea of what beauty is. Everybody has a different perception of it. Some people look at the outside because they want a trophy. Some people look at the inside because they want to be comfortable. They want to be happy. I mean, you look at some of these, I'll call them young ladies that you see on the yachts. You look at the state of the people that own them yachts, and you're thinking, why is that woman with that guy?
He's paid her. He's paid her.
Exactly. I mean, Madonna, what is she, 65, and she's got, what is he, 27?
Yeah, well, she can afford to do what she bloody well likes, Roger.
Yeah, but that's not the point. I mean, why?
I'm not saying I agree with it, but she can do whatever she likes.
I mean, she looks like a bloody alien.
Well, she's gone too far with the plastic surgery. I mean, she was good enough, she was a nice looking woman, but obviously that's their world, isn't it? They all get plastic surgery because they think they want to look younger.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the different bits on her, she can be anything between 70 and 26.
Yeah, but I must admit, she's done it well. I don't know I mean, obviously, I don't know her surgeon, but she's done it well, Roger.
Yeah, but why? Why do it?
Well, because she's been doing it forever and a day.
Because
you're never going to beat nature. Nature will catch up with you eventually.
Yeah, but that's why half of it goes wrong. Because some of it is to do with genes.
And unless it's for a disability, I always say,
absolutely,
you should keep yourself as you were born.
Absolutely. I always said, if unfortunately, when you were young, if you have to have a mastectomy, or if you're, I don't know. If you were,
prime example is women. Now, there was a few years where every man, and I'll put it bluntly, he wanted to be seen with a bird with big tits. Right? Now, what those blokes didn't consider is what those women go through to have those. Even with natural ones, it gives you a bad back, it gives you a bad front, it gives you problems walking simply because of the extra weight. Now, blokes don't consider that.
No, they don't.
I have never,
But,
ever known a woman that has got huge breasts that is free from back pain.
well, you've only. I'm really sorry, but you've only got to look at Katie Price. You know, I don't think they even look nice. She
No.
wants to sort of get herself in the Guinness Book of Records or whatever, but it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it.
But she's by nowhere near the biggest.
No, she's not actually. Not in the world.
Scar, you're perfect with that comment, mate. It does not make you a better human being. All it does is change your appearance.
But the problem is, even the girls of today are still being surrounded by and bombarded by these images of what a man wants, what you should look like, what pretty is, and 99% of it is fake.
More women take more notice of what people think they should like than what they'd be happy like.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really upsets me. I know I probably shouldn't be allowed to comment on this because I haven't got children, but I feel so, it upsets me what young children are going through, because you know, I know we all had to go through stuff as teenagers, but I actually think it's worse now, and
it's more available. Surgery is more available, and it's out there in the real world a lot more than it used to be.
If you've got to have surgery to keep a man, then that man isn't worth having.
absolutely, Roger.
There you go.
Why does this world think that you've got to have a big this and a big that? You know what I mean? Or why have we forgotten more important things?
Because it's the way the world is. It's what the world expects, and it's what people have been told they should look like.
Well, I feel sad for people that think that they think that they have to look like a certain thing. I really do.
Yeah.
And
I feel sorry for them. Not sad. I feel sorry for them.
Well, I feel sad because I wish I could help younger people.
The thing is, Eleanor's growing up in this world now. She's just starting to, or will start to discover boys and puberty and all the rest of it that goes with it, and all the shit that, yeah. But it's down to me and her mom to make sure she understands that it's not about trying to look perfect, because she is her perfect, and whatever that ends up being is where she ends up, and there's no point doing this anything stupid to try and look better and to try and keep a man. But we as her elders will do this. We will do this. We will make sure she's not going down that path.
But
at least is warned.
It's not about trying to look better. Better to what? You know, she's her own person and she's unique, and she has lots of things to offer the world. She doesn't have to conform to anything else.
No, but we know that, you know that, but it's down to us to make sure she has that mindset and not, oh, I want bigger lips, I want bigger boobs, I want bigger. We
Oh,
make sure she's not there yet. I'm not saying she is, but that's what I'm saying. The kids of today need an adult to go, no, actually, that's just stupidity. You don't need to do that. It could
Exactly.
go wrong. It could get messed up. You could look worse than you start out. And don't go there. Don't do that. But
do you know,
The biggest influence nowadays is what celebrities look like.
well, these so-called celebrities, Roger, they're not celebrities as far as I'm concerned.
No. That is the biggest issue today. Is they want to look like they're celebrities. I mean, you look at how women flock around footballers, professional footballers. They don't give a shit what they look like. All they see is a bank balance.
Yawn, yawn, yawn.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of the younger women now, I mean, there's videos up of them all the time. Women have set so many goals that a bloke's got to have and got to look like that the
Yeah.
blokes are fed up with it. And they're turning women down. And the women are getting upset about it because they set their targets too high. You know, they've
yes,
got
but
a
I'm
perception
sorry.
of what they want.
I'm sorry, but if the bloke is doing that he wants this, that, and the other in a woman, and she has all of that men supposedly want, then she will turn around and say, well, I need a bloke with a bank balance and because they become perfect for one another. He wants a dolly bird and she wants a bank balance. They're made for each other.
Yeah, but that's not love, is it? That's not a proper
Didn't
relationship.
say it was love.
That's an arrangement. That's not a relationship.
I said it was a match.
You know?
I agree with you, Heather. I think that's exactly how it is. And, you know, not being in that, obviously, not being in that celebrity world, that is why I stopped having relationships, because the problem is I was doing the full-time work. I was paying the rent. I was buying the food. I was providing the car. You know, I wasn't getting anything out of it, and in fact, at one point, I wasn't getting anything out of it because he was so ill that he slept downstairs and I slept upstairs, so I wasn't getting anything. So now you know why I've been on my own for 20 years, because I've been so disillusioned. But I am not a gold digger because I provided for myself all these years. You know, I've worked 84 hours a week before having a day off. No man has ever provided for me apart from my father. And
Again,
probably,
that's changed over the years now, see, with the younger ones. Now, back in, well, me and Heather are exactly the same age, bar a few weeks.
I'll be back in a sec.
All right. Now, in my day, the man was always the breadwinner. The woman only worked if she wanted to. That's the way things were back then. Now, we spent more than a couple of years where I couldn't work, not just because of health, because I couldn't find a job that paid it. I was just taking part-time jobs. Now, Heather was the main breadwinner. And ever since we've been together and I moved to Birmingham, she has always earned more than me. And that used to bug me because I was used to being the main wage earner. And I used inwardly, and I don't mind admitting it, I felt embarrassed Now, she said that I had no reason to be. She said, whatever you earn, you used to come home. It was on the table there. It was communal money. You know, if a bill needed paying, it didn't matter which of us paid it. The money was there to pay it. Didn't matter who was earning the bigger wage. But I used to feel guilty about that because of that's the way it was back in my day.
I
It's like getting married. Now, I admit, although my family don't know the story, I got married. The family loved it, but I got married for the wrong reason. The girl got pregnant. Not my doing. She came off the pill without telling me. So literally, I always considered I was conned into that marriage. Then I did the right thing, as the blokes did back then. Oh, you got the girl pregnant, you marry her. Today, that doesn't happen 9 times out of 10. But the marriage broke down because she did it a second time without telling me.
Oh,
And that way, I lost trust in that relationship. And trust is the main thing you've got to have in a relationship to work.
agreed, Roger.
Now, me and Heather were planning to get married, believe it or not, just before lockdown. Then lockdown came along, and then her daughter announced that she was going to get married. So, you know, the onus went on her. It's her first one. We want her to have a nice wedding. We want her to have a good time. I mean, we were just literally going to do a registry office and have a few people back to the house. We didn't want a big wedding. We've both been there before, and we both had bad relationships, and both were bad marriages. But, you know, we're thinking now, what is the benefit of me and her getting married? There are none. We don't gain anything by it. We know we love each other. We're together. You know, is marriage going to change that? It's not going to make the bond any tighter. You know, just having a bit of paper. It's perception has changed over the years. That's what I see. You know, it's there was a spate of probably 20, 25 years where women were going out and deliberately getting pregnant just so they could get child benefits.
I think they're still doing that, Roger.
Yes, in a way they are. What do they call them now? Baby daddies or something like that, isn't it?
Oh, I'm fed up with this. Baby mamas, baby dadders, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, Heather.
The world changed more than most people we know. You know, it's and I don't think it's changed for the best, to be honest. I really don't. You know, a bloke could go out, you could own a house, you could get a mortgage, you could have a nice car, you can have holidays on one wage. Unless you're a high flyer now, that's very rarely the case.
Oh, Roger, don't remind me of what the life used to be in the past.
It's just the way the world's evolved. It's the way people have evolved.
I know, I hate it.
It's
Heather, if I go up to Essex I'm hoping to go up to Essex on the 10th of December, and I'm probably going to be there till about the 10th of January.
Right.
And I'm probably going to hopefully meet up with Dan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next year we should all do a meet up.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. Because Dan had his birthday parties, didn't he? So, but
he was going to have one further down towards us, wasn't he? So everybody could get there.
Yeah. The thing is, where would we have it? And yeah, you sort of say Midlands, and it's still, well, where would you have it? And I don't know, but yes, it is something we've thought about.
Well, I still think that it's something that could be done next year. Something could be planned, but let's get through the next couple of months.
I was going to say, at the moment, I'm still planning Christmas
Oh God.
because I have to do Christmas because he will not do Christmas if it's not here, which means I've
Well,
got to cook.
He's a typical bloke.
Yeah.
Sorry, Roger. He's a typical bloke.
I like to have all the family here.
He likes the freedom of being able to call it a day and come and have a sleep if his fatigue's playing him.
Sorry, Roger, but he's a typical bloke. But as long as everything is done for him, he's fine. As long as everything has been done.
I always own up on a lot of things.
Oh, Roger, please, I'm not aiming this at you personally. I'm aiming it at blokes. Please,
Yeah, it's like
I'm
I
not.
said, I hate it at the moment because Heather does do more for me.
Women always do. That's
But
the thing.
she knows that and I know she's doing it because she knows I can't. You know, it's like the shopping. One, I can't do it because I just can't last for, hours out shopping. And two, I'm the biggest pain in the ass you've ever seen when I'm shopping. So I just get on her tits anyway.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with that, Roger. And I really don't want to be. I'm not saying this as a insult, but I had to go out today, and I've got COPD, and I had to take my. I've actually bought a wheelie trolley thing, whatever, and I've got a walking stick, and I've got to do it on my own. And the thing is, Roger, I really like you, but you're a typical bloke. I really don't have a problem with you, Roger. I really like you. You're like my brother.
I come from a
It's
different
like
era.
men cannot cope with anything. Women have to get on with it. And please, Mr. Whittington, that is not an insult. It just.
Well, put it this way: for many a year, I was living in my own 3-bedroom house on my own, and I had to do everything, including working 2 different jobs.
I went out and bought myself a walker because a lot of the times I can't do it now. I really can't. If I go to the bigger supermarkets, I end up getting one of their sit-on wheelie buggies. Love them. They're great. It's buggered to get in and out of the fridges at Asda, but at least I can get round the store without.
I thought about it, but can you imagine the mayhem with 2 of us on them electric buggies in the supermarket? I'm bad enough with a trolley.
You won't get to.
Roger, it's not about that. You can't be trusted to be taken out in public.
He will go out with a list, and the list would be like bread and milk, and that's what he would come back with.
I literally, if I haven't got it written down, I have a list in my head, and I used to go round, right, yeah, I want one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them. I don't look at anything else.
I know.
I just get what's on the list and what I needed.
But I go out and I go, actually, I've used all the pilau rice. I need some pilau rice. That's not on the list, but I'm walking past it and I'll pick some up. Oh, we're very low on peanut butter. I'll get some of that. Oh, but he won't. He won't. And if he's with me, he won't let me. Because he says, what do you need why do you want to go shopping? Well, I need some stuff. Like what? Like bread and milk and peanut butter. So that allows me to buy 3 items. If I
Roger,
haven't named it, I can't pause to pick it up because it wasn't on the list. And he will follow me around the store. It does be the only time I allow him to shop with me is when we're on holiday. And he will follow me around the shop going, have you got everything yet? And I'm like, well, what are we having for dinner tonight? And what are we having for a meal tomorrow? And, you know, this is what we've got to eat, babe. You know, it's not just bread and milk.
Roger, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to be respectful, but Mrs. W. Heather has got it, 100% right here. And I'm
she's
sorry,
a diamond. She's an
I
absolute
can't,
diamond.
I can't be on your side. I'm very sorry.
I am hard to live with at times. I admit that. But there again, I have spent a lot of time on my own, and I have spent a lot of time fending for myself.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's why I live on my own, and I've got a brother that causes my sister horrendous problems. But if I make a joke, or I don't mean it, I mean it in a jokey way,
Oh,
Roger. If I make a blokey
you'll
joke,
very, very rarely get
I
me
would
to
never. I
You
would
won't
never.
upset him, don't worry.
Oh,
There's very,
okay.
very
It's
little
just
that upsets me.
sometimes I make a blokey joke that is a
No.
bit insulting to men, so don't take it. I don't want to. I don't
No,
want
don't
to.
worry, love. Don't worry. I've called him all sorts in the
Well,
house.
yeah, well, that's your right to call
Well,
for
no, if I'm going
children.
to do it, you may as well join in.
Well, no, I wouldn't insult either of you. And
I mean,
whatever even though I think men are, well, even though I think men are a waste of space, I'm not going to openly
In
insult
in
Roger.
Roger's defence, there's a lot of things he can do or could do for himself. No. Since the stroke, he has become less able, and that's not his fault. It's a medical thing, that he can't stand, he can't walk, he can't do this, he can't breathe.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was only joking about the blokey bit, not
no,
about medical bit.
No.
no,
But
it's
as I say, in
absolutely
his
fine.
in his defence, there's a lot of things he was able to do, and I've sat there for years going, I can't do this. I'm physically not able to do this, and he's like, I'll do it for you. I'll carry the washing up the garden. I'll do this for it. Don't do that. I'll do that. And we've had an about turn in a lot of ways, because even though I can't do it, he now finds it difficult as well. So it's become a case of, actually, I need a trolley on wheels to get the washing up to the washing line.
Well, I
Well,
get it up there, but where I used to carry it up there, I now have to drag it.
And now you understand why I drag it down the stairs.
We
Roger,
try and help each other as much as we can.
look, if Roger, if I make a blokey joke, and
No,
if
don't worry about
it's,
it, darling.
I'm not being insulting to you. It's just a blokey joke thing. But also, I was talking to my sister tonight, and it's about, when we live with people, it doesn't matter what our relationship is. I mean, I'm gonna admit something here. I don't know why. I don't know why I've got this aversion. My mum used to do the washing up all the time. Washing up was never left. All the washing up had to be done at night. Now I don't know why, but I never do washing up, and I only use it when I only wash up when I need to. And my I've never had a dishwasher, but my sister and we were talking about me coming up for Christmas, and my sister can't stand cooking. But she can't stand doing any cook. I love cooking. I'll cook all day long for everyone, and she loves washing up, and she has to do it a certain way. She has to put it in a bowl, and then and so I said, "Great, it's fantastic. I'll do the cooking, and you do the washing up." And don't you think that's about? I don't want to get into the psychology stuff about that, please. But don't you think that's about living together? We all have issues, and we all can help one another. What one person likes and what one person doesn't, and we can all make life good.
Many years ago, I lived with a woman that hated getting up to dirty dishes. But it was coming late at night from the pub with a curry, whatever else. We ate the food, put the rubbish in the bin, and left the washing up for the morning. She'd get up in the morning and do the washing up that was there, and then moan that we'd left it. So like your mum can't stand dirty dishes left. And it's like, well, if I'd have done the washing up last night, there's every chance you would have moaned at me for waking you up because I was making all the... you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not leaving it for you to do in the morning. I'm just leaving it rather than rattle pots and pans and things around late at night when you're asleep and you've got to get up for work. No. Oh, no. I had to do the washing up.
I used to have the perfect system when I lived alone at one point. I had one of everything. So if I wanted to eat the next day, it had to be washed up.
Well, you asked me why the hell we needed so many plates and knives and forks.
Yeah,
and
because we entertain the family.
And then Christmas happened and you go, oh, yeah, I see why now.
Yeah.
Well,
if I had guests round, they used to eat off paper plates. They said, why are you using paper plates? So I said, well, I've only got the one.
You did cook for me early days.
I did, yes.
Just once.
I like her cooking that much, and she does it far better than me. You know,
I've just stepped out of here, and all I can smell in the hallway is stew. Because I defrosted. Was nice. I found that there was some stew in the freezer, and I thought, no, I just fancy that. So I defrosted it, and we had that. I had dumplings. He didn't, because he doesn't do dumplings. But we did have some nice baguettes, which I noticed you've snuck into the other one. But yeah, I like my own cooking. I do like my own cooking. I understand where he's coming from. But I like a day off occasionally, so I like to go out.
Well,
yeah, I get that.
If we've got the family here, I normally just get in the way because her and the daughter are in the kitchen. And they're both good cooks. They both cook damn good meals. And I just get in the way, so I let them get on with it.
Well, you never come out to help anyway.
I have offered.
I ask for a volunteer, and I end up coming in and go, oh, Donna, can you help me? Or Josh, can you come and do this? I don't bother asking you.
Yeah, well, Josh is the little waiter boy because he can go backwards and forwards more than once.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, but I get that because we had a conversation, me and my sister tonight, and she cannot stand cooking. She really isn't into cooking, and I love it. So I said, but that's all right. And she's into this really what can I say? But washing up is you have to go into one, but it has to go into one bowl, and then it has to go into another bowl, and then it has to be something has to happen. So I said I'm really not into that. So we've got it set. I do the cooking. I love the cooking. She can't stand the cooking. She hasn't got a clue about, and she doesn't want to get involved. So I said, well, I'm quite happy. I'll do all the cooking. You can make me a cup of tea, and you can do all the washing up.
Who's doing the shopping?
Ah, well, we have to do that together.
No. My problem is if you're doing the cooking, you've got to do the shopping because you know what you need to buy.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be doing the cooking and the shopping. That's not a problem. She doesn't even really like going out that much, but
Neither do you, though.
well, I know, but I can, if need be, I can have a delivery or whatever. So I'm not going to. It's going to be a bit different, I'll be honest. But
So when
I'll
you
get
say you're
there.
going up to Essex, when did you say?
Well, as of now, the plan is 10th of December.
So roughly a month's time.
Yes.
That'd be nice. And you're staying there for Christmas.
Well, I'll probably be staying there for about a month because I'm 21 again, just after in the new year, and it'll be the first time that being a triplet, we've spent our birthday together.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dan said to me, if you're up there, we can hook up. Not hook up, you know what I
Yeah, I
mean.
know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And that's the
um,
thing, once you're in an area, it's far easier to meet up with people than
oh,
when you've
absolutely.
actually got to travel 50, 60 miles to say hi.
That was the
He's
thing.
only
We live
he's
in
only
what's
down
supposed
the
to be the
road.
centre of the country, and everybody's further away from us since.
Say
Yeah,
that again, Roger.
I said that we're supposed to be living in the centre of the country within reach of everybody, but everybody's that far away from us.
Well, I can't help it if people live places like
No, I'm not
Liverpool.
saying that. I just find
I
it
think
funny.
Stitch is about the closest.
Holly.
I'm 1 hour and 49 minutes from Stitch.
Holly's about the closest to us, I think.
Yeah, Stitch isn't that much further.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty close.
We're gonna have to for next year. We're gonna. I think next year we should do a meet up.
You plan it then.
All right, I will.
I was
Are
going to
you
say pick a beach and we'll have a barbecue, but we ain't got any beaches in the middle. Well,
are
we
you
have, but I
challenging?
don't think Birmingham Council would
Are
go
you
for it.
challenging me, Heather?
It's not a challenge.
Oh,
No, well, the thing is, you've got to find out where everybody lives. You've got to pick somewhere that's reasonably central, and then you've got that. Well, actually, it's a bit too far to travel. So you end up doing the. Well, actually, if we have it in Essex, the majority of people live closer to Essex than live closer to the Midlands. And then you end up with people from the Midlands not turning up. It's almost an impossibility to get everybody together, purely because of accommodation and things like that.
It's gonna have to be higher up. Now, I don't know a lot about my geography is not great, but it's going to be have to be higher up from me. And I'm mid-country. I mean, I've been to Birmingham in my life.
But
In my life.
Where is Stitch?
Sorry?
Where is Stitch? Gordo just put in the chat.
She's 1 hour and 49 minutes from me. Because we had a chat the other day.
Yeah,
I can't remember. To be honest.
Northamptonshire.
That's it, Northampton. I
Yeah,
thought
Northamptonshire, yeah.
But I don't understand. Having no idea about geography, I don't know whether that's north, south, east, or west from me.
Yeah, the thing is, Lizzie, if you've got 10 people that are in Essex and Southend and London, it's pointless moving everybody to Birmingham when there's only me and us and Holly that are up in the Midlands. That's what I'm trying to say. You've got to work out what's best for everybody, for the majority.
Well, I don't think it really matters. If the majority of people are up in Birmingham, and forgive me, I don't know about geography, but if you're all up north, if you like, then we come to you.
Yes, and
I don't see the problem.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is a lot of you are further south. And how do you get Stuart involved? He's Belfast.
Well, that's a different country. I'm not talking about that. I don't see the problem that we can't all come up north. I mean, I'm mid-country as it is. I don't see a problem, Heather.
Right, so you're 2 hours away from Stitch. Stitch is an hour and a half away from us, and then you've got Holly's another hour away. It's even further on.
It's not bloody Australia.
I don't drive in that. I can't drive, so I'd have to get up there. And
I was just going to say, it's not the distance, it's if people can travel and how they're going to travel.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be well hard. And then obviously, yeah, there's lots of, I mean, I'd love to, that'd be great. But
it's also the cost of accommodation, because
you
can't go there and back just for a cup of tea and go home.
Yeah.
Well, we proved it with Dan's party. It's very difficult to get a lot of people together.
If it's mid next year, I'll divert to pick up Stitch, and I'll pay for the hotel.
Well, let's get Christmas out the way and see what happens. Defer it till after Christmas, and then we'll have a stream where we sit and talk about it, think about it, come up with some ideas.
Sound like a plan.
Yeah, as I said, the main problem is that with people being so far spread apart, it is purely, it's finding the best spot, and being able to sort out accommodation and transport for people, because, like I say, not everybody drives. But I say, and I'm not putting my hands up and saying I'm going to do it, because I'm going to be starting work in the next few weeks, hopefully. So I'm not doing this. I'm looking after him. I'm doing a job. And sorting our meat.
I meant to ask you that. Sorry. What is the latest on your job?
I'm still waiting on people sending bloody references.
Well, what does that?
The one company that I asked for a reference from, they won't give one unless they got a signed form.
What?
Won't give a reference out unless they got something with my signature on it.
Oh, what a load of old BS.
That makes sense with the GDPR rules, that a lot of companies won't give out information unless they've got a signed declaration saying that you've given them permission to do so.
Yeah, well, it never was like that in the old days, Roger.
No, it
No,
is now. Though.
my other boss is ignoring the company emails, my emails, and my messages to his phone. So, if necessary, I'm going over there next week and can hammer on the door till he talks to me.
Oh, for God's sake, it's pathetic.
Oh, he's too busy.
Oh,
He's
really?
too busy. He's that sort of an idiot
doing
when he
what?
wants to be. But the DBS check is going to take weeks, so.
Oh, for God's sake.
He won't be too busy if you're sat in his office when he turns up one morning, because don't forget, I've still got a set of keys.
Do you know what? I'm fed up with us having to provide paperwork and legitimacy and, you know, and all these people that come into this country that get this, that, and the other with no paperwork at all.
Well,
Exactly.
What was it you were saying, darling? They're talking about giving the immigrants free bus fare.
Free bus travel in London, yeah. Khan's talking about it.
They've taken it off the olds, but they're giving it away to the
Wow.
the newcomers.
Well, it's the same as the National Trust.
Well, I don't like to say this, and I don't like to promote this, but I really think that at some point, you know, those ULEZ things, those ULEZ, what are they called? Camera things. Well, you know, they can easily be brought down. Well, there will be a point where that happens to people.
It's already happening.
To do with the cameras. We are very tolerant people. But if you put, as Roger said to me once, if you push someone up against the wall, they will respond.
When you've got nothing to lose and you're up against the wall, that's when you're at your most dangerous.
Yes.
And we're all there.
You've been keeping an eye on the time, babe?
Well, I had, but...
Because I'm starting to drop a bit now.
Are you lagging?
I am. It's been a long day. Don't forget, I've done a lot more moving around today than I normally do.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, my back's kind of telling me enough now.
Yeah, I've done a good couple of hours in this chair, and mine's getting to the point where it's like I could do with a move, other than just to the toilet.
Yeah, I just stood up.
But yeah, we'll have to do a consensus on who would be interested in meeting up, where they've got to travel from, just roughly. If they have transport or would be reliant on public transport. And yeah, who knows? Maybe we could all meet up. We'll do it through Roger's channel though, rather than this one.
Yeah, we get a few more people in there.
Well, that's what I mean. From here, it'd be 5.
Yeah. Well, there's 6 plus me and you at the moment. Oh, 7 now. Someone else has dropped in.
But I mean, if Holly was interested, we'd have to do something to help Holly at the moment because she
And
has no
that's
vehicle.
another consideration is those that have got pets.
Yeah, but Holly's car's not. So she hasn't got transport. So she'll be on a train to us. Or we'd have to get somebody'd have to go and get her, or yeah, whatever.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, well,
She's
no
got.
fretting about it now. Leave it till after Christmas, and we'll have a discussion on it. Then.
Yeah, as I say, but that's what I mean. For it to work and be more than 3 people, it's going to take work.
Yeah.
Hazel. Hazel.
Right. Well, I'm going to drop out, babe, because my eyes are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all starting to get to that point.
Good night, Heather. Sleep well. Take care. And you, Roger. Sleep
I
well.
will sleep tonight.
Bye,
Take care. I know what you're feeling with the inhalers at the moment. I'm doing the same thing, but you take care. And you too, Stitch. You and little Stitch, take care. And
Yeah, thank you. Nice to be on. I know I didn't say much as always, but you know,
Stitch,
it's me in it.
Well, that's because we chat too much over the top of you. Don't give you a chance to speak.
contact me, Stitch. You
See
know
what
you
I can do.
can. All right. You know, if you want something, contact me. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Same to you.
I will catch you ladies later.
Okie dokie.
See you later, Pops.
I'll be
Bye.
down in a bit.
Yeah.
Bye
okay.
bye.
Love you, bye.
Good night, Heather. Roger, love you.
Night, Liz. Catch you on Wednesday for Rogers Live. So, yeah, I'll say good night to everybody that's left in the chat. Scar, Gordo, and whoever else is there. Thank you all
Good
for
night,
dropping
everyone.
in. Sorry, Stitch. You say good night, please.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. You got so many words, and I.
Sorry, I do apologise, darling. Didn't give you a chance to say good night. But no, we'll catch you
No,
all
you're
on
right.
Rogers Live on Wednesday. Stay safe, everybody. Don't work too hard. Whatever it is you're doing, and make the most of life. And yeah, take care all. Bye for now.
Bye.